كلا إن كتاب الأبرار لفي عليين وما أدراك ما عليون كتاب مرقوم يشهده المقربون كتاب مرقوم يشهده المقربون إن الأبرار لفي نعيم على الأرائك ينظرون إن الأبرار لفي نعيم على الأرائك ينظرون تعرف في وجوههم نظرة النعيم يسقون من رحيق مختوم ختامه مسك يسقون من رحيق مختوم ختامه مسك ختامه مسك وفي ذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب الله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. We send our condolences to Imam Mahdi alayhi salam and all the Shia and followers of Fatimiyyah al-Zahra salamullah alayha for the shahada of Sayyid Nisa al-Alameen. Inshallah that we can be their true followers of Fatimiyyah al-Zahra salamullah alayha. For the short speech that inshallah we present tonight, I will have an introduction that perhaps needs your input and more interactive. and then inshallah we'll refer to certain points in that line. We know that Ahlul Bid'ah alayhi salam, and on top of them the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is the role model for everybody. Quran introduces the Prophet as Uswatun Hasana, the good role model, that's you translated. But understanding what this role model means is very important. The same thing is about, for example, Fatimiyyah al-Zahra salamullah alayha. Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam says, لَقَدْ كَانَتْ مَفْرُوضَةَ الطَّاعَةِ, that Fatimiyyah al-Zahra salamullah alayha was somebody that obeying her was wajib, was necessary. And then continues saying, على جميع من خلق الله من الجن والإنس والطير والوحش والأنبياء والملائكة. Anybody was supposed to follow her and obey her, and she was like an imam, for example, for them in that meaning. Or Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam, for example, says, وَفِي إِبْنَةِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ لِي أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. For Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam, Fatimah al-Zahra salamullah alayha is Uswatun Hasana. The question is that, what does it mean? If you say somebody is my role model, it can be interpreted in different ways. Like, for example, I might say that somebody is my role model in a way that I follow everything that that person does and says exactly the same way. And be careful here with what we're going to say tonight, because how we define this, I think, is very big challenge in our belief. Like, for a person who wants to be religious, perhaps this is the biggest question that you have to answer. Because this is the border between being religious or not being religious. The border with where you are and how you describe that, that is this answering this question. The other person may say, look, you know, it's true that you say is the role model, but it doesn't mean you have to follow everything exactly how they were. They were different people. They were, you know, some people say this, you know, to you even to justify certain things. And they say, look, they were different people. They were made differently. Which means that they want to say, look, you don't have to follow them 100%. You just follow them roughly. The next question is, so what's the percentage? If you're saying that I should not follow them exactly, how much am I supposed to follow them? Give me a percentage. Or at least give me a field that I understand to say, look, you follow them. The Prophet ﷺ is your role model 100%, for example, in certain things, if that's what you mean. Like, say, in praying and fasting, is it with ahkam al-shari'iyya or that 100%? So we have to answer that, because if we don't answer it properly, we don't know what we should do. And if you answer it in a way that is too much or too less in comparison to the real standard, then we're in trouble. And this is something that you perhaps face in your daily life. You know, somebody may come to you and say, where are you going? You say, I'm going to the mosque. I'm going to majlis for Imam Zaman alayhi salam, for Fatimah al-Zahra salamullah alayha, Ahlul Bayt. And they say, why? I say, look, you know, brother, you're mu'min, you're Muslim. You should come as well. And they say, no. These are all made up. You're not supposed to do these things. They went and they did all of that because they were imams, because they were ma'soom. But you're not supposed to do it. You live your life. You enjoy your life as it is. You don't have to go out of your way. So let's answer this question, inshallah, in short period of time, and then we move on to the topic which is related to this. Who says that when we say that the Prophet ﷺ is a role model, is uswatun hasana, that means we have to follow him 100%. Who says that? Any of you believes in that? So nobody believes that we should follow the Prophet ﷺ 100%. Is that what you're saying? You believe? You believe so? Nobody else believes in that? Oh. You believe in that as well? Hajj Abbas? Oh, you believe too? You believe too? Three people? You believe too? 4 out of like 15, 20? You? The number is going up, but just like that. I wonder why you guys saying like that, you know? If somebody came here and said, look, we are giving $1,000 to anybody who raises his hands, I would be like this. I would try to do both hands and jump on the... Or if you go higher, I would even go higher and higher. So, yeah, if that's what you believe, okay. I mean, these people, when they say that, people who said that they should follow, and we come to the others that they say we shouldn't follow. But the ones that they said you should follow, remember that you are committing to something extremely difficult, to take them as a role model. Let's say, for example, you've got an exam. Let's say at the end of this month, another 4 weeks, you've got a very, very, very important exam. How would you deal with it? Somebody comes to be... Why is it, first of all, why is it the exam is end of this month and you change your lifestyle because of it? Why? You change it because you say, unless you're a very exceptional person, but most of the people say, no matter what, I want to make sure I do my best. No matter what, there is something I may not know or may make a mistake. I have to make sure that I'm perfect. As much as I can get close to perfect. What's the lifestyle of this person? You come to him and you say, brother, let's this week go and eat out together. No, sorry, I've got an exam 4 weeks' time. I cannot come with you. Somebody else comes and says, it's a nice match, football match or whatever is the fashion match nowadays. Whatever the match you like, cricket or whatever, is on telly, just go and watch it. No, sorry. I've got an exam 4 weeks' time. I can't do it. And the other one says something else, have fun. The other one says this to anything everybody says, even when it comes to sleeping, when it comes to eating, he eats quickly because he wants to move on, do something very important, exam at the end of this month. Even if he wants to go to sleep, he says, oh, I've got to make sure that I sleep on time, I wake up on time, not sleeping too much. In the morning, the alarm rings, he jumps up. They say, oh, what's wrong with you? Why are you so stressed? He said, I've got an exam. Very difficult. If we are saying what you guys admitted, that means that you are in trouble. Because our lifespan, let's say, we'll give it like a rough idea. We live 100, let's say we live 100 years, yeah? Plus minus 20 years for many people. 100 years, and no matter where you are now, are you early of the 100, are you halfway or late? Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, in comparison to what you want to achieve, the whole 100 years is nothing. If you're saying, I want to be like the Prophet ﷺ, 100 years is nothing. And most of us, we have not even done enough in the first 2 decades, you know. Most of us, the first 10, 20 years, we've been a bit, you know, oblivious of what's happening around us. And we're a little bit ignorant at the end of the day, if you, for 4 weeks until your exam, you don't sleep well, you don't have fun, you don't do anything extra, and you want to be 100% there for achieving that mountain, that high level of, which I would argue that's actually not achievable, but getting close to that. Getting close to what? And that's the question that the second group should answer. You guys that you think that we should not follow the Prophet ﷺ 100%. So what's the percentage? People who didn't raise their hands about the first question. So what's your percentage then? How far are we supposed to go? And I'm looking at you. $110%, that's amazing. Okay. All right. So it looks like most of people are actually going for the second question, like the first version that we said, which is the second question. So if you are saying that we shouldn't achieve that, is there anybody actually want to claim that we shouldn't really achieve 100% what Ahlul Bayt salam did or lived the way they lived? So what's the percentage? As much as you can. Well, as much as you can is like the first question, exactly the same way. Is you're exactly in the same boat with others. As much as you can means them. Means the four weeks to exam. But do we really deal with a life like that? Do we live like that? Are we so meticulous, careful about the amounts that we spend on things that are not related? Are we taking life exactly like the person who is waiting for a very important exam? Or no, they say it's like somebody who's got an exam at the end of the year. So we'll do something about it. We've got time. Yes. Oh, you want to say in Farsi? Okay, Bismillah. That's right, yeah. That's right. So he is describing, yeah. That's right. He is describing a friend of his that he had at uni, and that guy used to be in Hausa. So he was studying for every exam for getting 100%. The mark that he was aiming at for every single exam was 100%. And he was like that. He was like, for example, most of his marks were 100%. That's how he was. And when they asked him, so why are you taking it so hard on yourself? He said, because it's religious duty. I have to get 100% because I'm here. Because I have committed to become an engineer. And this was in the computer science. He said, I'm committed to become an engineer or computer science expert. And for that reason, even though he's not doing Hausa studies, he says, no, it doesn't matter. This is religious duty. If we accept that we are supposed to give 100% to it. And the second question, again, these things are, I very much doubt anybody would actually mention these things or challenge you. You know, as a person standing here, most of people who stand here, they don't want you to think like that, because that's too much. You know, because we want to give you some good feeling when you want to go home. We don't want to get challenged that much, because you would not invite me next time. But the good thing is that, yeah, I'm gonna come. I'm so committed, yeah, so committed to come and confuse you. The second question is this: Uswatun hasana. Let's say if you got, I always give an example of cars. If you got a car and they say, this is the car that you're supposed to follow and make like this car. There are different versions of copying that car. One is that they say you got to make exactly like that car. That does exactly the same job, looks exactly the same, goes the same speed, everything. That one task. Imagine you use a Ferrari car coming, putting in front of you and saying you got to make a car exactly like this. One of these nice cars, whatever they are, Lamborghini, whatever. The second one, they say, no, take it easy. You just want to make a model of that. It's not going to really be a car that you sit in it and you go different place with it. It's just a model you put on the bookshelf or something for decoration. Now, let's say somebody, either of these two scenarios, somebody goes and makes that car. You get a guy coming through this door, brings his model or his car, puts it here. And the second one comes and puts it here. They look exactly the same. They're so similar. However, the first guy made it in his backyard with some recycling stuff and went to this shop and that shop around the corner, and he bought some stuff with his own effort. He made it. The second guy, he works for the Ferrari. He made it in the factory, but he made a model of it. So you come and say, what is that you made? You work there, you've got all that facility, and this is what you came up with? Somebody might come and say, wait a minute, they made exactly the same thing. Why are you telling this guy, well done, the other guy, you're telling him off? So because look at the facility that he has. He works for the company, he's got everything in his hand. He's got every single machine that he could have made best car. He could have copied the real one even. But the first one, no, he didn't have facility. He just, look what he's done. He doesn't have money. He didn't have facility. He didn't have technology, all that. Now, as you can see, the two people, they took Uswatun Hasana, both of them. One, and the quality looks the same. Like we all come here, we look like, mashallah, nice beard and nice clothing, everything. Mashallah, we all look the same. Yeah? And one of us here might be here, up there. That was like me, would be up, down there, just above the basic, is doing something. The question is that, where is it that we say is enough? That's it. You've done the role model. Why is it that Imam Zaman alayhi salam says that in وفي ابنة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله أسوة لي أسوة حسنة. For me there is أسوة حسنة. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. So there is a place to do something. There is a place to make an effort. No matter what scenario you go for. And we understand when you say that we should be 100% towards that. And we understand that you want to refer to your limits. That is obvious. There is another topic that inshallah comes with this, and I'm not going to work around that too much because we want to move on. But that's this question. Bismillah. وفي ابنة رسول الله لي أسوة حسنة. where he yes. When did Imam Zaman alayhi salam said it? No, Hajj. What? We got numerous riwayat from Imam alayhi salam in Ghaybat al-Sughra. Imam alayhi salam had nawab wa arba'a. Imam alayhi salam had people who were in touch with him. Even after that, Imam alayhi salam had tawqi'at, when they sent the letters and they answered people, met people. So in Ghaybat al-Kubra is difficult to get hold of Imam alayhi salam. Ghaybat al-Sughra, people were in touch with Imam alayhi salam, but specific people. Yeah, if that's what the question was. The second part that, as I say, I'll leave it to yourself to think about a little bit more, and that is this. We're trying to become like Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam, and they're trying to become like somebody. There's a standard for them, isn't it? Like maybe they all say Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the ultimate. Yes? Why are they so committed in being religious? Look at it as somebody from outside religion, yeah? You see, for example, an imam, a decent person, very well-mannered, hard-working, good, everything, behavior, everything perfect. And then you talk to these people about different things, Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, they're all good with everything. But when it comes to religion, they suddenly become the most strict person you can find. Not only that, they're happy to sacrifice everything they have for religion. Why? Like Imam Hossein alayhi salam going to Karbala, somebody comes and sees the Imam alayhi salam from outside. 57-year-old man, big family, children. You know, it wasn't like now. Nowadays we've got 4 children, we think, mashallah, we've got 4 children. It was different then. They had big family. He was once upon a time in their standard, in a foreign standard, you know, not non-Muslim standard. He was a prince. He was the son of the ruler. He was a prince. Na'udhu billah, no similarity between Imam alayhi salam and the prince of other places, but just as an outsider. And he had difficulty, you know, at the time when you go to the life of Imam alayhi salam, Imam Ali alayhi salam, when they were children. Remember the ayah of Quran, when يُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا, the time that we had no food, not just even enough food to feed one day. The time that Fatimiyyah Zahra salamullah alayha, Imam Ali alayhi salam came to him and said, do you have any food? And she said, no, we have no food. We haven't eaten for a couple of days. Even children haven't eaten. We had a little bit of food. We gave it to you. And Imam alayhi salam got very upset and said, why didn't you say something? Fatimiyyah Zahra salamullah alayha said, inni la'astahi, I feel ashamed of myself in front of Allah to ask you and nukallifa nafsak, to make you, force you to do something ma la taqdir alayh. It's something that you may not be able to do. That time that they went through so much difficulty with everything, they went through it. Now somebody looks at Imam alayhi salam and says, look, perfect life, mashallah, children, there's no poverty anymore, things are got much better. And he says, you know what, and think about it, you know, 57, I mean, some of you are not there yet, most of you, but when you get to age of 57, you say, okay, I want to retire. I'm looking forward to another 10 years or whatever to sit and relax and enjoy. Most of you want to do that. And Imam alayhi salam says, you know what? Today, I'm going to sacrifice myself, my children, my cousins, my companion, everything I have. I'm going to put my family through the worst time that they could even imagine, as being tortured, prisoners, taking away their dignity, everything they could take, as much as they could do with them, whatever they want to do. Muhammad said, no problem. Why? Hasn't anybody asked this question from an outsider? Think about this, and I'm going to leave you with that question and move forward for us to understand, because it's related to this, to that exam guy. So the guy is waiting for an exam for 4 weeks, how dedicated he is. Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, who were top of the top. Like, even if you want to compare them in a very basic worldly measures, in the field they were experts, yes? So if we are bottom of the list, they are top of the list, they don't need it for exam to study, they know everything. There is nothing for them to worry, is there? فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. They have absolutely nothing to worry because they are top of the list. They still study exactly like that person, much worse. The one that he has the hardest exam ever at the end of the month, every single day, every single night, when they do the salat al-layl, they tremble. They do dua. Look at the dua of Imam Hussein alayhi salam on Yawm al-Arafah. Look at the dua of Fatimiyyah Zahra salamullah alayha, when she's speaking to Allah Ta'ala and saying the way that the most humble person and somebody who's got nothing for himself, she wants nothing for herself. That everything, Allahumma inni as'aluka ma tuhibbu wa tarda, whatever you want. You should be top of the list. Why are you taking it so hard on yourself? Now, let's go back to the actual topic. The topic is about what is the tree and the principle of our belief. I just referred to it actually in what I was saying. The essence of a true believer, the belief of a true believer, the system a believer accepts. If it's a real believer, the essence is that sentence: tuhibbu bima tuhibbu wa tarda. Tuhibbu wa tarda. What you want, what you love. Not me. Whatever Allah wants. This is a very, very difficult task. Not only is hard to achieve it, but also is even hard to accept it. I mean, one of my family members was talking about something and said something that was not knowing exactly what was said in the lecture. And I said this, and I said, have you paid attention to this sentence that you say in Ziyarat al-Ashura, that you say that you want the life of Muhammad wa ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi Muhammad. When you ask Allah that Allahumma aj'al mahya Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad wa mamati Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad, have you thought about it? Really? Am I really aware of what I'm saying? Have you seen the life of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam? Oh, that's even harder. Like ya laytana kunna ma'akum. Like when it comes to Ashura, this is another level. Even when you say Allahumma aj'al mahya Muhammadin wa ala, somebody says, okay, well he's looking at, for example, Imam Baqir alayhi salam. He's taking it a bit easier, maybe. But when you go to Ashura and you say, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum, that's really? You're ready now? I mean, can we even get up a bit earlier every morning? It's just so hard for everybody. The moment you say, look, let's say from tomorrow, we say, okay, every day, come on. We're all getting ready for Imam Zaman alayhi salam, yeah? When Imam alayhi salam comes, are we going to stay and pray in our home or going to the mosque? Go to the mosque. Even for Salat al-Fajr. We're just going to go to the mosque, isn't it? Isn't that what the idea is? Allahumma ajjal dhuhula. Allahumma ajjal dhuhula. Come back. Yeah, come back. What do you want to do? Oh, Imam being here, I want to do certain things. Go, come on, go, yes, let's do it. Which one do you want to do? Let's say from tomorrow we announce that everybody comes to the mosque for Fajr prayers. By the way, we're doing it on Fridays. Just this week, me and Hajj. It was just 2 people. Usually I have a bit more, few people come, but this week was just 2 of us. But it's not that. It's the fact that not just this is an example I'm giving it. The truth is that the commitment that we are claiming to have, we're claiming to have this commitment when we say عَجِّلْ ظُهُورَ وَلِيكَ وَالْعَافِيَةَ وَالنَّصْرِ, when asking Allah Ta'ala to facilitate the reappearance of Imam alayhi salam, that means that we got something. We got something to offer. And I'm scared of myself. I don't know about others, but I'm scared of myself. But what do I have to offer? Where is it what I'm really telling Imam alayhi salam to come to do what? What do I have? Fatimah al-Zahra salamullah alayha was somebody with her Imam al-Zaman, with her Imam al-Zaman at the time. At the time of Imam Fatimah al-Zahra salamullah, Imam Ali alayhi salam was her Imam. She was different. She was one of those people we talked about. No matter how good they are, before exam, they study 100%. When they ask her about, you want to get married, she said, what about the Allah and Rasul wants? When they ask her about, how we're going to have the marriage, she said, you know what, the food, it's mustahab to give walima and food to others, treat others. She gave it to the poor. Nowadays, most of people, I've seen people want to get married, and there was one of the brothers here, poor guy, he said that the family of the girl, they're saying that you've got to invite so many people. And he says, why so many people? It's a lot of money and I'm a young person. They say, because they invited us. And that guy, when his daughter got married, they invited us, and this guy, so basically business. And he says, why do I have to pay for it? It's business between you and them. Why do I have to take the burden? But their wedding, instead of those things, was feeding the poor. Instead of music, was the takbir and tahleel and sending the message of, and now there's somebody says takbir and la ilaha illallah, they say, oh, somebody died in the marriage. And giving these words, that ala barakatillah, tawakkaltu ala Allah, ma sha Allah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. That's how they went to the, wedding night and marriage. And this is while she was top of her quality. She's the one that Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Lawla anna Allah khalaqa Fatima li'aliyin ma kana laha ala wajh al-kufun." If there was not Ali alayhi salam, this world, nobody could even be at the level to marry Fatima Zahra salamullah. Nobody had this quality to deserve to be her husband. So she's top of her qualities that you can imagine. She was so good with looking after her husband. That's when he says, Jihadul mar'ati husnul taba'ul. It's in the hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is that the jihad of a woman is to look after the husband and make sure that it does her best. In this situation, Imam Ali alayhi salam says, وَلَقَدْ كُنْتُ أَنظُرُ إِلَيْهَا فَتَنْكَشِفُ عَنِّي الْهُمُومَ وَالْأَحْزَانِ. Whenever I looked at her, all sadness, every concern, everything I had would have gone out of my heart. That's it. Just looking at Fatima Zahra salamullah. And this made this relationship so unique, in a way that even the last moment that Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha is leaving, Imam Ali alayhi salam looks at her and says that, Ya Sayyidati, ma yubkik. because she was crying last moment. Imam Ali alayhi salam calls her, Ya Sayyidati. What made you cry? قالت أبكي لما تلقى بعض. I am crying to what's going to happen after I left. What's going to happen to you, O Ali? فقال لها لا تبكي والله إن ذلك لصغير عندي في ذات الله. Don't cry. For the sake of Allah, I will take anything. It's nothing for me. Even in those moments, the last moments, she is thinking about Imam Ali alayhi salam as a husband or as Imam. And that's why when Imam Ali alayhi salam is burying Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha, started saying certain words. And the narrations كالمناجي به رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله عند قبره, as if he was talking to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, and said السلام عليك يا رسول الله عني وعن ابنتك النازلة في جوارك. I send the salam on my own behalf and on behalf of your daughter who's going to be next to you. وَالسَّرِيعَةِ اللَّحَاقِ بِكَ, the one that very quickly after you started joining you and passed away. قَلَّ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ عَنْ صَفِيَّتِكَ صَبْرِي. For the sake of your daughter, losing your daughter, my patience is gone, O Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَرَقَّ عَنْهَا تَجَلُّدِي. My body cannot take more than this. This is too much for me. إِلَّا أَنَّ لِي فِي التَّأَسِّي بِعَظِيمِ فُرْغَتِي. The only way I can manage it is to think about how hard it was to lose you. That's how I can manage it. وَفَادِحِ مُصِيبَتِكَ مَوْضِعَ تَعَزٍ. Because it was so hard to go through the aza of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فَلَقَدْ وَسَدْتُكَ فِي مَلْحُودَةِ قَبْرِكَ. It's because I put you in the grave myself. وَفَاضَتْ بَيْنَ النَّحْرِ وَصَدْرَكَ نَفْسُكَ. And you lost your life while I was holding you. فَإِنَّ لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. Imam alayhi salam does this istirja, and it says فَلَقَدْ اسْتُرْجَعَتِ الْوَدِيعَةِ. And now I'm returning what I took from you. The amana, I'm returning it. وَأُخِذَتِ الرَّهِينَ. What I kept from you, I'm returning to you. That's it. أَمَّا حُزْنِي فَسَرْمَتْ وَأَمَّا لَيْلِي فَمُسَحَّدْ. My sadness for you is going to be, oh Fatima salamullah alayha. Oh Fatima, my sadness for you is going to be forever. It never ever will stop. وَأَمَّا لَيْلِي فَمُسَحَّدْ. I'm not going to even have any decent sleep. Until morning I will cry for you. إِلَىٰ أَنْ يَخْتَارَ اللَّهِ لِي دَارَكَ الَّتِي أَنْتَ بِهَا مُقِيمٌ. Until the day that Allah will take me away from this world to you. وَسَتُنَبِّئُكَ إِبْنَتُكَ بِتَضَافُرِ أُمَّتِكَ عَلَىٰ هَضْمِهَا فَاحْفِحَ السُّؤَالِ. Ask your daughter what happened, because this ummah of you tried to destroy her. They tried to get rid of her. Ask her, insist on getting answer what happened here. وَاسْتَخْبِرْهَا الْحَالِ. Ask about what happened. هَذَا وَلَمْ يَطُلِ الْعَهْدِ. This is when there wasn't a long time after that you departed this world. وَلَمْ يَخْلُ مِنْكَ الذِّكْرُ. We're still remembering, everybody's talking about you. And despite of that, they came and they did this to your daughter. وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَيْكُمَا سَلَامَ مُوَدِّعٍ لَا قَالٍ وَلَا سَائِمٍ. I'm sending my salam for a person who's saying goodbye to you. I'm not complaining. فَإِنْ أَنْصَرِفْ فَلَا عَنْ مَلَالَةٍ. Don't you think that if I leave this place next to your grave, if I leave it, it's because I'm getting bored being next to it? No. وَإِنْ أُقِمْ فَلَا عَنْ سُوءِ ظَنٍّ بِمَا وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الصَّابِرِينَ. And if I stay, it's not because I have lost my patience and I'm not going to believe that Allah Ta'ala is going to give the patience. But the fact is that Ali alayhi salam on that day left this world. On that day, he left his soul, his essence of life with Fatima salamullah alayha and buried that. And that was the moment that when Imam alayhi salam said, فُزْتُ وَرَبِّ الْكَعْبَةِ. in fact remembered that he is going back to Fatima salamullahi alayha. وَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلَبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ وَالْعَاقِبَةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Let's recite this ayah together 5 times for the shifa of marda and for the sake of the poor mazlumeen around the world, especially people in places like Gaza. They are suffering from the injustice in this world. And inshallah, with this ayah, we ask Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala to send back to us our Imam. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء 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 أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. اللهم اكشف هذه الغمة عن هذه الأمة بحضوره. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم أدخل على أهل القبور السرور. اللهم أغن كل فقير. اللهم أشبع كل جائع. اللهم اكس كل عريان. اللهم اقض دين كل مدين. اللهم فرج عن كل مكروب. اللهم رد كل غريب. اللهم فك كل أسير. اللهم أصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين. اللهم اشف كل مريض. اللهم سد فقرنا بغناك. اللهم غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك بظهور الحجة. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.